Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Sports Out.
Home is supposed to be your house. The Braves, though, have struggled at home this year. They're 2 games under 500 at Turner Field while going 6 games over on the road. The Braves have 4 more home games before the All-Star break, and they need to get back to making things uncomfortable for the visiting team. The last place Cubs come to town. It's time to create some Braves fireworks over this 4th of July week. Our 4-game homestand opens on a warm night in Atlanta, Georgia tonight. It's a beautiful night for baseball here in Atlanta, Georgia, and we welcome the Chicago Cubs to town. It's game 1 of a 4-game series over the 4th of July holiday. And all year long, Braves baseball on Sports Out is being presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, the low price, every day. And good evening, friends, with Joe Simpson and Braves Hall of Famer Dale Murphy. I'm Chip Carey. Welcome to the ballpark where the weather has cooled, and we hope we can cool off the Chicago Cubs. And, Joe, this has been a very rough 45, 46 games for the Atlanta Braves, but they've come out of that brutal schedule in pretty good shape.
They've been treading water for a while, Chip, that's for sure, against some good ball clubs, teams that have had winning records. And the Braves only 2 games under 500 during that 46-game stretch, but had 7 series wins. When you look at all those games in this rough stretch the Braves have been in, isn't it amazing that the run differential's only been -3?
That is a remarkable story, and Dale, a chance for the Braves perhaps to get healthy against the Chicago Cubs, who come to town with the worst record in baseball.
Yeah, you're right, Chip. You know, it would not only be good to get healthy against the Cubs, but we also got the Phillies at the end of the week. Look at these numbers for the Cubs, 10 and 26 on the road, and the Phillies have the 2nd worst home record. So it'd be really nice to gain some ground here going into the All-Star break.
Braves indeed hope to gain some ground on the idle Washington Nationals tonight. Washington leads the Eastern Division race. The Braves start play tonight just 4 1/2 games back. Very busy day here at the ballpark, and a nice story about Andrelton Simmons. The kid shortstop is sizzling indeed, and he was honored today. We'll talk about that and his great month of June when we come back to Turner Field in just a moment. first career victory over the Chicago Cubs in Game 1 here in Atlanta tonight. If you missed the news, congratulations to Brave shortstop Andrelton Simmons, named the National League's Rookie of the Month for the month of June. The kid hit .333, did an outstanding job, Dale Murphy. What a surprise, and what a pleasant surprise this young man has been.
Chip, if you just showed up tonight and watched Andrelton Simmons play, you'd think he'd been here for 10 years. I like what Greg Walker today said to me around the batting cage. He said, Murphy acts like he should be here. He's comfortable. He's poised in all phases of the game. He's not cocky. We've seen a lot of guys that act like they should be here in a cocky way, but he's just got an air of confidence, and it's been fun to watch.
Joe, we know all about Andrelton's glove. How about his bat, and how about the at-bat yesterday against the Washington Nationals?
Well, like Dale just said, it was like a 10-year veteran up there yesterday against Gio Gonzalez, one of the best lefties in the league. And it turned into a tie for the longest at bat of any hitter in the National League this year. 14 pitches. The at bat lasted over 5 minutes. He was fouling off pitches left and right. He was taking a few that weren't in the zone early on in the count, and then finally got to a point where, you know what, you got to throw it over the plate, and Gio Gonzalez didn't. And after a 13 pitches, he finally missed inside, and it turned into a 14-pitch walk.
Well, we'd like to see some more at-bats like that tonight against Jeff Samardzija. He's the Cubs starter. He's really been struggling. He's lost his last 4 decisions in a row for the team from the Windy City. We're ready to open things up. It's the Braves, it's the Cubs, the start of the big 4th of July holiday. Game 1 of our series comes your way from Turner Field right after this. And the Braves, a lot of love for the Braves as we look at this Chicago club for the second time in the 2012 season. The Braves hope to gain some ground on a Chicago team that's off to its 3rd worst start in the last 50 years. And that's saying something. You know all about the Cubs' postseason miseries. They have a young club. They are building for the future, and they've brought up Anthony Rizzo, the young man we talked about earlier. He's the first baseman of the present and the future. Alfonso Soriano hits well here in Atlanta. And Jeff Samardzija, the Notre Dame footballer, starts and bats 9th.
Tommy Hansen's 3 starts against the Cubs. We showed this tonight. I know he's 0-3 with a 4.41 ERA. But in his 3 starts against them, he's received 0, 1, and 1 runs of support in those 3 starts. So he's had nothing to work with. That would help tonight as we get into this first game of a 4-game series against the Cubs. His 4 keys to pitching success tonight. He's been on a good run here where he's won 4 in a row. and it's because he's had an excellent breaking ball. So continue the streak of good hooks, and some early runs, as I said, would go a long way. The Braves have been falling behind early. They fell behind in each of the 3 games against the Nationals. Let's hope that doesn't happen tonight.
Might have to put a log or 2 in the fire tonight. It's cold, 91 degrees compared to the last several days. We joke, of course, 91 degrees, 42% humidity. Forecast is sunny and fair skies. A breeze is blowing out toward the right field corner. And Jim Joyce will have the plate tonight. One of the game's best umpires, joined by Mike DeMuro, Jim Reynolds at second, and James Hoy, the umpire at third base. Cubs have played good ball of late. They've won a season-high 3 straight and 5 of their last 6. They just had a 5-1 homestand, a homestand in which they were actually outscored. But still won 5 of those 6 games.
This guy Campana here leading off is another key to what's going to happen in the next 4 days, because he can be a real pest. Great speed.
And a good start for Tommy Hanson. Campana 274 for his average, 5 RBIs, 25 of 28 in steals, and he's played now in 56 big league games this year. And Campana's down on 3 pitches. How about that start?
The Braves need one of their starting pitchers to really take off and, I guess, assume the mantle as the ace. Everybody's been pitching okay. Tim Hudson's been pretty good. He had a rough outing yesterday. But Tommy Hansen's a guy that seems to be moving to the top of the class here. He's 4-0 over his last 4 starts, and those were all in June. And he's off to a good start tonight, and he's pitching like he did before his shoulder injury last year.
Now he has to contend with an all-star, Starlin Castro, the Cubs shortstop. This young man, Dale, has been a hitting machine since he came to the big leagues for the Cubs.
Yeah, definitely a young player that's fun to watch. I saw some of his numbers since I think it was 2010 or something like that, over 400 hits.
First the pitch from Tommy Hansen. Our Academy Sports and Outdoor Leaderboard since May 7th, 2010. Look who leads the National League in hits.
And Michael Bourne 5th on that list. That date chose it because that's when Castro got called up.
Now Tommy's ahead of him. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I like what you said, Joe, about someone stepping up into the ace role. It seems like, remember that first inning in Washington where he gave up back-to-back home runs? It seems like that was kind of a point to where since then it's been incredible, I think, the way Tommy has pitched. And I think that was just a great learning experience for him. That first inning kind of could have gone south on him.
Sure
there.
could have. Great month of June. Here are the numbers for June. We just talked about how Andrelton Simmons was the National League Rookie of the Month. Tommy Hansen, with these kind of numbers, could easily have been the Pitcher of the Month. 4-0, a 313. Averaging pitching into the 7th inning, and finally for him, a little bit of run support.
Deep short. Andrelton Simmons. And Castro out by a quarter step. 2 outs.
When you get stuck on an in-between hop, it's always nice to have a great arm, and he recovered here.
This is another one of those plays that's not as easy as it looked. In between hot, deep, short. Tough play.
So here is Anthony Rizzo, the latest greatest hope for the Cubs and their fan base. Off to a good start in Chicago. And we'll see, Joe, how different he is from the first time we saw him while Rizzo was a San Diego Padre.
Well, we're told that he's made some adjustments in his swing. He's lowered his hands a little bit. Certainly was paying off in AAA this year. He was leading the Coast League in just about every offensive category, including homers, where he had 23 for Iowa. And off to a good start. He's been a highly touted prospect in 2 different organizations before the Cubs. So it's time for him to step in and be who everybody thought he would be.
Here's some of Rizzo's career highlights. Cubs gave up Andrew Kashner and another player for Anthony Rizzo, who's just 22. What's amazing about this kid, too, this is the second time that Theo Epstein's acquired this man. Remember, Rizzo was originally with Boston.
Well, he didn't like giving him up when he had to for Adrian Gonzalez, so he wanted him back. But quite frankly, last year when we saw him in San Diego, he was overmatched. Had a big, long, loopy swing, and Major League pitchers were eating him up.
See that Rizzo has a homer. It came Saturday against Houston.
They're going to love him at Wrigley.
And a little low, full count.
Really put on a show in BP. He hit one to the back of the Braves bullpen.
Did he?
Yeah.
And a line drive over short. Rizzo aboard with 2 outs. He'll take a big turnaround first and stop there. And on the throwback to first, he's back on a very close play. 1 on, 2 outs.
Big, high, hanging breaking ball there. Kind of put it on a shelf for Rizzo to pick on.
Yeah, you don't want to miss that one. All the young hitters I see every once in a while, they'll see a ball like that and they'll say to themselves, that ball's a little high. I always say, if it's slow and high, go for it.
So now you've got to worry about Soriano, who for some reason loves hitting in this ballpark. After a very slow start, Soriano's really picked it up at the plate. Those are his career numbers against the Braves, and look at what he's done in this ballpark. He's our SunTrust solid performer.
It's pretty good work in 24 games here. A lot of his success is in keeping with how his legs feel, and if his knees are feeling good, he's generally swinging the bat pretty well.
Well, it seems like such a long time ago, but Soriano was a 40-40 guy in the big leagues. And when the Cubs got him, that's what they thought they were going to be getting. He had 46 homers and stole 41 bases in his single season with Washington in 2006. Then came to the Cubs and hurt himself on the base paths and really hasn't been the same since while wearing a Cubs uniform. And he's got a gigantic contract, signed an 8-year deal before the 2007 season.
His setup, his stance is about as wide as anybody in the game for his size. And then he has, like Ryan Zimmerman, a little leg kick.
Bud Hanson retired him on an off-speed pitch. And Tommy's through a scoreless top half of the first inning. Atlanta takes aim at Jeff Samardzija when we come back to Turner Field. Inning tonight against the Cubs. Now the Braves offense will try to support him against Jeff Samardzija, who's really been struggling on the mound for the Cubs. Bourne, Prado, and Hayward the top three. Chipper Jones in the cleanup spot. Brian McCann slides to the number 7 hole as the Braves Rookie of the Month in the National League. Andrelton Simmons hits 8th.
Jeff Samardzija is a great athlete, as you know, 27 years old now, 6'5", 225. But he has fallen on hard times. His last 4 starts, a .333 average against him, 12.27 ERA. His 4 keys to pitching success: he's always pitched out of the bullpen. Just a starter this year. They need to check the gas tank, see how much he's got left in his arm.
Bourne hits one in the air to straightaway center, where Tony Campana drifts back.
So he may be tiring a little bit, and the middle of the road key has to do with that. That if he is getting a little tired, and he's thrown 87 innings, his fastball, while mid-90s, is beginning to straighten out. He's got to have some movement, and if he's going to be pitching to the middle of the plate, he's going to continue to get hit hard, as he did in his last start against the Mets.
Joe, that's a good call. The most innings that Samardzija has pitched in the big leagues is 88. He's 1/3 of an inning from matching that. Here we are in early July 2012. Martin Prado, the hitter, with the bases empty. They had a .321 average. Martin, 15 hits in his last 36 at-bats.
That start against the Mets 5 days ago, 4 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 9 runs. A career high for him.
Was that the 17-1 game?
Yes, it was. 4 walks, 1 strikeout.
And Prado's down on an off-speed pitch. Samardzija's first strikeout. And the bases are empty for Jason Hayward.
Well, you throw it there, you're going to have some success.
Here's the Cubs defense. Soriano, Campana, and Brian LaHare is in right. Remember, he was the first baseman before Rizzo came up. Luis Valbuena is at third base. Steve Clevenger's behind the plate.
Clevenger's done a pretty good job for these guys in the absence of Giovanni Soto, who had to have some arthroscopic surgery on his knee. But Soto's back, able to play.
And Hayward hits a bullet foul. And Jason behind 0-2.
Jason may have a little extra motivation tonight.
Yes.
I remember in Chicago he had a home run off Samardzija, and then later in the game got drilled right between the shoulder blades. The only run the Braves got off of him was a home run, and then this happened. And the Braves retaliated by hitting DeJesus, and both benches were warned, but Freddie Gonzalez was upset about the warning and promptly got ejected.
Inning over. Hansen with 2 strikeouts. Samardzija with 2 strikeouts. And we're scoreless after 1. Outdoors by AT&T Uverse, by Delta Airlines, and by Toyota. Joe Simpson, Dale Murphy, Tom Hart, and Chip Carey back with you from Turner Field. Our series with the Cubs is underway. No score after 1 inning. And Brian LaHare will go to work for Chicago to start this inning. What a year for this young man. Out of nowhere, LaHare hit 13 homers, knocked in 28 runs, and was named by his peers to the All-Star team.
Apparently Martin Prado and Michael Bourne's numbers were missing when that vote was taken. You know how papers can get rearranged on the table when you're trying to make comparisons? And you say, where are those Prado numbers? Oh, well, okay, I guess I'll have to vote for LaHare. Did you find those Michael Bourne numbers? Where are they? They must have fallen on the floor.
There are a lot of guys around baseball scratching their heads over some of the choices, made or not made.
That's good to see Michael and Chipper in that vote off or whatever you call it. But Michael definitely should be there without that. Wow.
Well, you can thank a lot of the San Francisco Giants ballot stuffers for a lot of the problems that have been caused in rounding out the rosters, for the way they got Pablo Sandoval and Melky Cabrera voted in by the fans. Sent shockwaves through the rest of the team.
Inside corner, LaHare is retired. He's got good stuff so far tonight.
LaHare came in hitting just 192. I said 192 over his last 18 games. So it'll go down from there. I'm sorry, is that harsh? Was I being harsh? He's a good kid.
One away for Steve Clevenger. Clevenger, a 7th round pick out of Chipola, Florida Junior College. He was originally drafted as a shortstop. Couldn't play shortstop. They put him behind the plate. Here he is. He's always been able to hit, though, and is doing that at a 271 clip this year. But like LaHare, that average 2 will go down as he grounds out to second. 2 outs.
And I should have added one more on that Giants ballot stuffing, because Buster Posey moved to the top of the list among catchers too, ahead of Yadier Molina and especially Carlos Ruiz of the Phillies. But don't get me started.
Oh, we do have a new audience, Joe. So we can get Allie to bring the soapbox right here to your seat.
No, I think Chipper. I heard a quote from Chipper that I think we should run for everybody that I think would at least get somebody on my side.
Fans can still vote until this Thursday. As Darwin Barney lines one to left, and Martin nearly misjudged it, hung with it, and made the play.
No ordinary player could have made that play, only an all-star caliber type player.
And we will talk more about that when we head to the bottom of the second.
And the Braves. And Braves fans, you have the final say. Vote for Michael Bourn or Chipper Jones as the final National League All-Star. Go to Braves.com. Cast your 2012 All-Star Game final vote by 4 p.m. this Thursday. Send Bourn or Chipper to the All-Star Game in Kansas City. So who should you vote for? Well, Chipper Jones says Michael Bourn is getting his vote.
I'm Mike Bourne's biggest advocate. I mean, he has probably been the most valuable player on our team, and he certainly deserves to be there. You know, as we get closer, you know, there's going to be people dropping out, you know, due to injury, and I certainly hope that that Michael gets to Kansas City one way or the other.
Guys, the funny part of this, as Chipper flies one to left field, is that after the game yesterday, Bryce Harper was asked about this. He said he and everybody should vote for Chipper. So later, after the game, Chipper sent Harper a text that was a very mature thing for a 19-year-old to do. It's turned into a round robin of who should vote for who among the final 5, Chip.
It's really tough, though, for Braves fans because 2 of the 5 guys are going to split the vote.
So I say call a friend, and one of you vote for Chipper and one of you vote for Michael Bourne, and just keep adding them up.
That's a good idea. They should both be there, one way or another.
And you can vote until Thursday, and that's when that final selection will be made. And here are the final 5. The All-Star Game, of course, July 10th on Fox. It'll come your way from Kansas City.
And I understand that Tony La Russa picked those 5 players. Is that right?
I'd heard that.
And one of the reasons he has both Chipper and Michael on there is because he felt like, for certain, Michael Bourne should have been on the team.
No balls, 2 strikes with 1 out for Freeman. And Freddie swings and misses. 3rd strikeout for Samardzija. That's what's so hard about picking the reserves for the All-Star team. There are other considerations. Every team has to have a representative, so that limits your options. Managers are sometimes reluctant to take pitchers because they may be pitching on the final Sunday before the All-Star game and then won't be available to pitch during the All-Star festivities. But it goes back to what Joe was saying. Pick the best team, not the most popular team, if it's going to mean something. So that's taking an exhibition. Dan Uggla takes a quick strike.
Excuse me, Chip. I think that's one of the problems. You can't make an exhibition game mean something, or it's not an exhibition game. The exhibition game is just for show. Just make the rosters 30 or 35. Get everybody there that needs to be there. Recognize them, especially guys like Chipper that are retiring, that have announced their retirement. His contributions to the game, baseball fans everywhere and in Kansas City should be able to say thank you, Chipper.
Couldn't agree more. I heard some knucklehead today on a national radio show talking about how, well, the players shouldn't be able to vote for the team because they don't get to watch everybody play. And I thought, what? You think the players don't watch Sports Center and highlights and
do you think
each other?
Do you think the fans watch every team play?
Who's a better appraiser of talent and players and what kind of years they're having than players themselves? I couldn't believe what I was hearing, but never mind. I'll stop there.
Well, that's why I didn't have as much of a problem with the selection of Brian LaHare for the Cubs. As a ground ball is gobbled up by Castro, he takes his time, and that cost him. Put a little mustard on that young man. He took forever to get rid of the baseball, and Uggla gets a gift hit.
Wow. That'll teach you. Stand there and
Yes,
hold
will.
it.
I've never seen that before.
They've seen a lot of that in Chicago. A lot of it.
You always know that Uggla's going to give you everything he's got down the line.
Yeah, he's not too happy about it. You know, we've talked about Andrelton Simmons, and there's a play right there that I'll finish it later.
Ground ball to second, and that takes care of Brian McCann. Jeff Samardzija's no-hit bid ends with a careless play by Starlin Castro. No score heading to the 3rd. Not an error as far as that stat's concerned, but an error in judgment. He took forever to get rid of the baseball.
Just stood there. I mean, this is super slow-mo, but he just stood there and watched Uggla take about 2, 3, 4 steps before he threw it, and then came back to the dugout and was promptly greeted.
And greeted by his manager, Dale Swaim, who's already had to bench Castro once this season for some lackadaisical play. And you might recall last year when the Cubs were here, Castro was called out by Bobby Valentine on a national broadcast for some lackadaisical play at shortstop against the Braves last season.
Well, it looked like Rizzo was trying to, and Castro as well was trying to say he wasn't there. But, you know, when I used to catch and the guy was stealing, they always said to me, Joe, throw the ball to the base. That's where you got to throw it. That guy should be there. If he's not there, throw it anyway. And I don't know if he's trying to make an excuse. What to me also, it looks like a mistake a young player that has a great arm would make. You know, I'm gonna.
Luis Valbuena drives one down the left field line, and he stands, or slides, I should say, into second with a leadoff double. That's the second Cubs hit.
You know, like it's a play. I got a good arm. I can do whatever I want, and that's why I was referring to Andrelton Simmons. He never seems like he gets into that situation where I'm going to show off my arm. I'm just going to make the play. Castro didn't do that.
Well, one of the things that occurred in that play with them playing Uggla to pull is the first baseman was way off the bag. Now look here. That's the first baseman. So, So Rizzo had a long way to go, and maybe that's what he was waiting on, was for his first baseman to get there.
Samardzija lays down the bunt. McCann throws him out. Runner to third with one away. Samardzija, his fourth sacrifice. And you'll note, too, that when Dale Swaim was talking with Starlin Castro, Rizzo was there, too.
Yeah.
So now Campana becomes the key man in the inning. Fast runner at third, very fast runner at the plate. Got to keep an eye on the Cubs, thinking perhaps about a squeeze. The infield comes in with one out in this third inning. Oh, and 2. Campana didn't think so.
Nice job by Brian McCann to frame that and not to move, just wait on that ball to come down.
Struck him out. Big pitch. 2 down.
And again, another breaking ball.
Both of Campana's strikeouts have looked like he's completely guessing completely wrong. He's waved at both of them.
Well, he likes to swing the bat as the Cubs leadoff man at 148 at bats now. 38 strikeouts, only 8 walks.
It's really surprising for a guy with his speed that he doesn't take a few more pitches and work the count a little more.
Here's another guy that likes to swing the bat, Starlin Castro. He's only walked 11 times in 319 at bats. But he's knocked in 40 men. High fly ball, shallow right, and Tommy Hanson is able to pitch around a leadoff double to Luis Valbuena. Bottom of the third, still no score. And Jeff Samardzija pitching well so far tonight. And here is our McDonald's fan of the game.
A little dance machine there to tequila. He had it rocking to tequila, but it didn't have any Pee Wee Herman thing going there.
Either that or he's auditioning for Napoleon Dynamite 2.
That could well be.
God, they put me on the TV. The National League Rookie of the Month, Andrelton Simmons. What a wonderful honor for this kid. Hit .333, 3 homers and 14 RBIs. He keeps this up, all the national media is going to have to take some of their focus off Bryce Harper and start looking here in Atlanta.
I think this is the springboard for that.
I love that 14 pitch at bat yesterday. I was trying to think of my longest at bat. I don't think I got much past 6 or 7. maybe a couple 8s here and there, but never a 14. Never a 5-minute at bat for me.
Well, Samardzija's done a great job of getting ahead with his fastball so far tonight, 93, 94. And then his 3 strikeouts have come largely on the off-speed pitch. Looks like a split finger pitch. And even Simmons got a piece of that right there.
2 balls, 2 strikes. With his 2 innings tonight, Samardzija now 89 1/3 innings, the most he's ever thrown in the big leagues. Infield hit, 3 strikeouts so far in the game, and now a full count pitch coming to Andrelton Simmons.
Samardzija thought that was a strike. Box track shows you it curved around the plate.
Leadoff walk.
His first start against Atlanta this year, May 7th, he was a winner, 5-1. Went 7 strong innings, just 5 hits. The 1 run came on the home run by Jason Hayward. Mixed his pitches well, but he had a real live fastball. And got a huge double play turn for him right there. The one inning he was in some trouble. 2 walks, 7 strikeouts.
Cubs gave the Braves fits in that series. Scored, I believe, just 4 runs at Wrigley Field of all places.
Yeah. And the 2 guys that won games for the Cubs are pitching in this series, Samardzija and then Mahalam, who will pitch here Wednesday.
Come on, Tommy. No balls, 2 strikes.
Has the bat out there in pretty good shape, but by pulling the barrel back, his angle to try to keep it fair wasn't very good. Moving up in the box a little more.
Yeah, I've always felt you got to exaggerate that bat angle so it's up a little bit more because you have a tendency to drop it. If you start level, you're going to drop it just a little bit more. He was out in front of the plate, like you said, Joe, which is where you want to start. It's got to exaggerate it just a little bit. Keep that bat barrel up. The chances of the ball going down increase.
And Hansen strikes out. Simmons back to first, and the top of the order is up.
Kind of flinched on that breaking ball. Thought it was going to be a ball and then wound up kind of punching at it.
Yeah, exactly, Joe. That's what I was just kind of punch at it, kind of push your hands on it. You just want to kind of catch it on the bat. Just catch it. You don't have to hit it. That's exactly what Tommy tried to do.
Fouled away by Michael. No balls and a strike. I heard Chipper's very complimentary comments about Michael Bourne, and they're well deserved. He leads the club with 100 hits. He's done that in just 78 games. Michael scored 52 times. And has hit a career high 7 homers. To mention his good defensive work in center field for Atlanta. He's second in Melky Cabrera in the league in hits. He's 4th in runs. And has already tallied 28 multi-hit games.
Sounds like an all-star to me.
Me too.
Runner goes. Clevenger's throw is off target. First steal for Simmons. And picks up Tommy Hansen, who couldn't get a bunt down.
Boy, got a really nice jump here. I thought it might be a hit and run. They might do a little hit and run, but it looked like a straight steal. Great jump.
Good crossover step, little peek. So add that to another part of his offensive repertoire.
That one gets through Clevenger, and Simmons now 90 feet away.
Right through the wickets. That could easily be a pass ball, but it's a wild pitch. The 6th charge to Samardzija this year.
Infield in for Chicago, and a dangerous pitch. 3 balls and a strike. Broken bat, line drive. It'll be a double play. Simmons broke on contact, and that retires the side. On we go to the 4th inning. Rizzo, Soriano, and LaHare coming up for Chicago as the Braves out of luck in the bottom of the 3rd. Heading to the 4th inning. Get your Braves Cubs live stats right now with Game Connect on FoxSportsSouth.com. This powerful tool is bringing you play-by-play, player comparisons, pitch counts, and a whole lot more. Follow the entire Cubs Braves series with Game Connect. Anthony Rizzo singled in his first at bat tonight. Drives one deep left center field. Michael Bourne's going back, and that one's going to go a long way. A home run for Rizzo on the first pitch of the 4th inning. One 1-0 Cubs.
Well, I haven't seen a lot of it, Joe, but I like that kind of a relaxed approach. Gets his hands, starts low, but gets his hands in a good hitting position. To make a little noise.
First pitch home runs getting to be too common, but for Hansen that was the 10th out of 12 he's thrown a first pitch strike to.
Rizzo knows about circling the bases. As Joe mentioned, he had a great year at AAA. 23 home runs in just 70 games for the Iowa Cubs. That's his second of the major league season. And Soriano couldn't stop himself. A ball and 2 strikes. Trading deadline coming up at the end of this month. One of the names that's been bandied about is this guy, Alfonso Soriano. He's swinging a hot bat right now, but has a big contract that might be difficult for the Cubs to move. But if you believe everything you read about the Cubs, it's 2 starting pitchers Chicago has that is drawing most of the major league interest. Those pitchers are Ryan Dempster and Matt Garza.
Sure, the Cubs would be happy to entertain offers for Soriano just to clear off a little bit of payroll. But any deal that it is for Soriano, I would assume, would have to include a little money going with him to help cover some of the remaining part of his contract.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Popped up. Freeman drifts back. Dan Uggla joins him. And Dan makes the grab for the first out of the 4th inning. Fans, the Braves invite you to take a behind-the-scenes tour of Turner Field. See Sid Bream's knee brace worn during the slide. Lockers highlighting the Braves' 14 straight division titles. And a whole lot more in the museum and Hall of Fame. Call 404-614-2311 to schedule a visit today.
Sid's knee brace? Did you say that, Chip?
Dale, as it was explained to me many years ago, I'm just the guy that reads the cards.
Well, I haven't seen that before. I'm going to go check it out.
Well, Sid was just here. He could have brought it along. But the Braves Museum is a great, great place to spend some time here at the ballpark. I believe it was voted the best ballpark museum in baseball.
Yes,
it is great.
So we do jest about the knee brace. There is so much to see for all of you around Braves country. A great stop along Scouts Alley here beyond the left field seats.
I love what they've done with the train in there.
That's a cool part of it, isn't it?
Very clever, very creative. And did you guys take the train from New York to Boston? Is that right?
We did.
Just like the old days.
LaHair is down on strikes. Tommy whiffs him for the 2nd time in the game. He asks if it was a strike. Don't know if it was, but it is the 2nd out.
Tommy's last start against Arizona here, he beat him 6-4, pitched into the 7th inning. Struck out 5 that night against only 1 walk. But again, he finds himself needing some runs.
Clevenger grounded out second his first time up. Really learned the tools of the catching trade in the minor leagues. Remember Brian Harper, former Twins catcher, was this man's manager in the minor leagues. And he said Clevenger might be one of the best receivers he's ever coached.
Well, you figure if he made the move from shortstop, he's probably got good hands and maybe some pretty good lateral quickness too.
His arm on Simmons' stolen base try looked plenty strong. He just was off target with the throw. Not tonight, Grandma. 2 balls and a strike. And a line drive into center. He'll drop in front of Michael Bourne. 2nd hit of the inning, 1st of the night for Clevenger.
He's done most of his damage against right-handed pitchers. Came in hitting .312 against them.
And that'll bring up Darwin Barney. He hit that line drive to left that Martin Prado caught in acrobatic fashion. That's fouled away quickly. 0-2. Hot shot toward third. Chipper fires to second, and that retires Clevenger and the Cubs in the 4th inning. But Anthony Rizzo hit a first pitch homer to give Chicago an early 1-0 lead. A lead Martin Prado hopes to erase when he comes to bat in the Braves' 4th. And by AT&T. Relief. First pitch temperature, though, still 91 degrees, but compared to the last couple of days, it's really a delightful night for baseball. Now let's see if Atlanta can put a little heat on Jeff Samardzija. Down a run now with Prado, Hayward, and Chipper coming up. Samardzija has struck out 4, walked 1. He's allowed an infield hit. That was because Starlin Castro way too long to get rid of a ground ball to him in the Braves' second.
Yeah, but after seeing where Rizzo is playing, I'm going to take some of the heat off of him.
Yeah, I agree, Joe.
If he was having to wait for Rizzo to get to first, he didn't have anybody to throw to. Like Dale said, as a catcher, you're taught to throw to the base. Somebody should be there to cover, but I don't think he's used to doing that at first base.
That's a good point. One of the first things as a position player, you got to say to yourself, can I get to the base if I need to get there? This was way too far away.
Yeah, I've never seen a first baseman play that far off the bag for anybody.
And again, credit Dan Uggla with running the ball out.
And Samardzija has his 5th strikeout. This guy's not pitching like a man that's lost 4 in a row.
Fans, learn ways to make your home energy more efficient. Your home more energy efficient with Georgia Power's online energy checkup. It's free and it takes less than 15 minutes to complete. Woohoo! New checkup time.
And they might bring Sid's knee brace along with him.
Well, I don't think
a little more interesting.
I don't think it'll take the guys who are doing the checkup that long that they would need braces, but you never know.
Never know. You know, I like just to change the subject a little bit here. I noticed Jason yanked that fastball foul into the seats down the right field line. And early in the year, he was late on a lot of fastballs.
He's swinging with a lot of confidence right now, Dale. And
yes, he is.
As soon as he hits one like that, teams tend to go away from him, and that's what he likes.
And speaking of liking, he likes facing the Cubs. He's our Georgia lottery hitting the jackpot.
15 RBIs in 14 games. 5 long balls, including his first career.
On the first swing he took as a major league hitter. Six strikeouts for Samardzija, and here is how Jason Hayward broke into the big leagues on opening day 2 years ago. Swing and drive! Belted right! Welcome to the show! This place went crazy.
It was rocking.
We're looking at Jason 2 years ago. He was just a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, still a kid. He's going to be a kid for a long time. I just appreciate how he's worked. You know, he's continued to work. He's had a rough start, a little bit of a rough year last year. You know, it's been well documented and talked about way too much, but he has persevered.
Coming off a great month of June.
Where he hit .353 for the Braves. That pitch buzzing in on Chipper Jones' knees.
I know this, and we got a close-up of him there. His fire, you know, it's burning, but you rarely see it. And I know that the 2 strikeouts against Samardzija are something he is not happy about. 2 strikeouts are one thing, but against this guy from the last game that we showed you, he's looking to get even somehow.
Samardzija is really dealing tonight. He strikes out the side in the 4th inning and has 7 strikeouts for the game. His season and career high is 9, and he leads 1-0. As the Cubs lead the Braves 1-0 after 4 innings. Bottom part of the order's coming up. Starts with Luis Valbuena.
She eats the rest of that cotton candy. That chop will be almost a blur. It'll be going so fast.
Valbuena drives one to left, and that's playable for Prado. And Martin has it. 1 up, 1 down for Samardzija. Samardzija tried to help himself with a sacrifice bunt back in the 3rd inning. But Campana struck out, Castro popped out to end the Cubs' threat. Their run came on an Anthony Rizzo leadoff homer in the 4th. Samardzija's 27. He's a big man, 6'5", 225 pounds.
But he almost looks lanky, you know, at 225.
Played college football, as you know, with Notre Dame. He finished his Notre Dame football career with a school record 179 receptions, over 2,500 receiving yards, and 27 touchdowns. He was a first-team All-American in 2006 as a football player.
Does it say if he got drafted by the NFL?
That I don't know.
Because, I mean, he was so good. And for a top-notch program, one that Leo Mazzoni would be proud of.
Cubs got him in the 5th round in 2006. As Hansen strikes him out, probably what enticed him to give up a football career was a 5-year major league contract that he signed in January of 07.
They had to give him that to keep him from playing football. He was, well, his first-team All-American. That says enough.
Well, I'm pretty sure with the new draft rules and the amount of money and the pool and all the restrictions on the draftees this year that those contracts are gone. The one he got.
Campana swings the first pitch. And that's a play for Freddie Freeman at first. He applies the tag. And Hansen is out of the 5th inning unscathed. 1-0 Chicago in front. The Cubs will see Freddie Freeman first in the 5th.
4th inning. The Braves only have one hit off Jeff Samardzija, and that was an infield hit. 1 walk, 7 strikeouts already through 4 innings. And our Home Depot tools for the dugout are Samardzija's tools tonight. Everything running off his fastball, and it's a good one, but his strikeouts have come largely on breaking ball and changeup. Look at that pitch go down. Twice he struck out Martin Prado. That's hard to do. And got Chipper on an off-speed pitch as well.
Remember, this is a man that in his last 5 starts, 27 earned runs over 23 1/3 innings. He's given up 1 hit tonight.
Yeah, but he was pitching to the middle of the plate. His ball wasn't moving. Probably wasn't getting his breaking stuff over at all. Tonight he is. And he's pitching against a club he beat already this year, so maybe that helped prime him for this start.
Big advantage, huh? 12 out of 14 strike ones.
You get ahead of guys and don't leave any of your off-speed stuff out over the plate. Going to do what he's doing tonight. Another one.
Yeah,
he has not left that up
No.
at all. Everyone's been knee high or lower.
And nobody's been able to pick it up. Everybody's out in front. And then he comes back with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. He had a lot of decisions last year, all out of the bullpen. He was 8-4. That had a very good ERA at 2.75. Tom Glavine said the other day that if you've got 2 pitches working, you can get a win. If you've got 3 working, you get a shutout. He's got 3 good ones working so far.
And he struck out the last 4 men. That's 8 in the game. Remember, the Braves had a great chance to score in the 3rd inning. They had Anderson Simmons at third base with 1 out, but he was doubled up.
Got Freddie to chase a bad ball there.
Left it up, but it wasn't down the middle.
Yeah.
Off
Got
the
away
plate.
with it.
Yeah, got away with it off the plate.
Dan Uggla jumps at the first pitch and lines it to Soriano in left. That's the first hard hit ball of the night for Atlanta, but 2 are out. And with the bases empty, it's time to continue our dominance on the homestand on our AT&T Universe trivia question. Who are the only 2 pitchers with their 3,000th career strikeout while pitching for the Cubs? Only 2.
Maddox is probably one, isn't he? After he went back to Chicago.
He won his 300th there, but I don't know.
Oh, okay.
About 3,000. Fergie Jenkins would be a guess.
That's one I could come up with.
One and 1 to Brian McCann. Cubs have an infield shift. 3 defenders on the right side of the diamond. Brian has the entire left side to play with if he can go the other way against Samardzija.
I want you to take this in the way I mean it, and I don't mean this to be harsh, but I'm almost glad Brian McCann didn't make the All-Star team. I'm glad he didn't get voted in. And the reason I say that is that I think this All-Star break this year will do him some good.
His numbers are very un-Brian McCann-like. From an offensive standpoint, he's hitting .226. And for more on that, let's check in with Tom.
one of the best reports Tom's done all year. We'll try it again.
All right, well, this is bound to be worse, so just stay tuned. Freddie Gonzalez discussed that today. He said no matter where Brian is, you can bet over the 4 days that the Braves have for the All-Star break, he won't be far from a batting cage. He even stayed late Sunday. He was in the cage till about midnight here after that long, hot game.
And he rolls out to first to retire the Braves in inning number 5. Samardzija with 8 strikeouts and a 1-0 lead heading to the 6th. How it happened in the 4th inning. Anthony Rizzo picked on the first pitch and he hit it a long way.
Fastball really wasn't that bad a pitch, outer third of the plate, and he launched it. Give you a little idea of his power.
Well, we know he likes to get his arms extended. Let's see if Tommy can maybe tie him up. Rizzo's due second in the 6th inning behind Starlin Castro. The Cubs shortstop is 0 for 2. And Tommy has not pitched badly. The Braves just have not been able to score for him when he's pitched against the Cubs. This is his 4th start against Chicago. The Braves have scored a total of 2 runs for him while he's been in the game in those 4 starts. Nice play, Chipper. Backhand stop and leathered Larson. He retires Castro. 1 out.
They just showed a sign that a fan had in the ballpark on the big screen here at Turner Field, and it said we drove 650 miles to see Chipper. And I don't know how many games he's planning to play this holiday week, but I hope it's all of them. For a lot of reasons. One, because it keeps him in the lineup, keeps his bat in the lineup. But there are a lot of people who have taken trips here for the July 4th holiday because it may be their last chance to see him play. They may not have the ability later in the summer, so I hope he's in there for a bunch of them.
Yeah, good point, Joe.
No balls and a strike to Rizzo. 2 homers now for the young Cubs first baseman. That ball hit sharply to short. Nice play, Simmons. 2 out.
Sometimes a defensive play will really fire up a ball club. We've had 2 already this inning.
Wow, 2 tough plays that both guys made it look pretty easy, didn't they, Joe? Wow.
I just continue to be impressed by Andrelton's ability to, when he goes to the ground, get to his feet quickly, but he doesn't rush his throws. The throwing errors he's made have been to the hole to his right where he's planted, and then really hasn't got his shoulders squared up where he's kind of thrown around his body a little bit and launched a couple.
For the most part, though, he never really looks out of control. Just
never.
Very smooth.
Never.
And Joe's talked about the kid's instincts. Forget the plays he makes, just how much he's around the ball even when it's not hit to him. Never seems to be in the wrong place defensively. And Soriano now 1 ball 2 strikes.
I was just thinking about Andrew Jones and when he first came to the big leagues, also from Curacao, how at age 19 he wasn't overwhelmed either. He was very relaxed. He had great instincts to go to the ball in the outfield. Wasn't a center fielder his first year. Could swing the bat, but he was very comfortable in the big league environment. Andrelton's a couple of years older, but he's the same way. And applauding a fan's catch.
All great defenders.
Appreciation for one another.
Right.
That was great.
And Soriano's down on strikes. Tommy's got the strikeout ball working. That's 7 for him. And the Braves defense was brilliant in the top of the 6th inning. 1-0 Cubs. Braves will have the 8-9-1 hitters coming up, and here is tonight's Toyota play of the game.
Well, here's a great catch. Dad holding the baby was a great catch in itself, but he caught the baseball, held on, and then great appreciation from the Brave shortstop. Andrelton would vote for that for Toyota play of the game.
Yes, I wonder if he said,
a fan from Williamstown made that play.
He probably did.
Well, let's see if Atlanta can get something going against Samardzija. Simmons walked to lead off the 3rd inning. After Tommy Henson struck out, Simmons stole second, took 3rd on a wild pitch, and then with the infield in, Michael Bourne broke his bat, hit a line drive to short, and Andrelton was doubled off 3rd base. Braves haven't had a base runner since. Up the middle, but Darwin Barney is there. That guy's got a very impressive errorless streak going. 66 games working tonight for Darwin Barney without an error. 1 out. And here's our Jameson and upcoming schedule. 3 more left with the Cubs and 3 more left on this homestand.
Volstat just called back up to take the place of Ryan Dempster. And then we got Delgado and Paul Maholm. Maholm's the guy that beat the Braves 2 in Chicago. And then Mike Minor and Matt Garza, one of the guys you were talking about, Chip, is perhaps on the block.
Activity starting in the Cubs bullpen with Samardzija up around 73 pitches. And now he's sat down. Boy, Jeff's pitching. I'm surprised anybody's up for Chicago unless it was just a play catch.
Yeah, for sure. You know, typically, the thing that concerns you about this game, typically guys make mistakes, you know, in the early innings, first 3 innings. He hasn't made any mistakes. And now he's starting to feel comfortable and getting more confidence in that off-speed pitch. We've got to keep it close because he's settled in.
And he's just matched his career high with his 9th strikeout.
Always laughed at catchers that did what Clevenger just did, which is in a very demonstrative way alert the right side of the infield that Michael Bourne might drag bunt like it's a big secret, and if I go out here, step out in front of home plate and tell everybody, he won't do it.
1 ball, 1 strike.
It was the sign he was giving everybody, especially the guys to the right side. His day again. Boy, he's had a good off-speed pitch tonight.
Yes, he has. It has been down there all night.
Yep.
We've seen this movie before, haven't we, Joe?
Yep. He wasn't walking a lot of guys in his struggles in his last 4 games. He's still averaging around a strikeout per inning pitched, but it was just more about lack of command. He was giving up a ton of hits.
That one's down the left field line. It is fair and into the corner. A 2-out double for Michael Bourne, and that represents the potential tying run. And now Samardzija has to go to the stretch for the first time since the 3rd inning. Let's see if that has any effect on his matchup with Martin Prado.
Snaps a little mini 0 for 8 for Michael Bourne, and a pitch that was up. Bit of a mistake finally from Samardzija.
Yeah, finally.
He struck out Martin twice, which is hard to do enough, but he's done it both times on the same pitch, off-speed pitch.
Yeah.
After he got ahead.
Prado has 11 2-out RBIs, 11 of his 31.
Well, he only strikes out about once every 10 plate appearances, which is outstanding. So for him to fan twice in a row, that's a lot. That's pretty good pitching.
1 ball, 1 strike. Bourne a big lead at second. And that's well off the plate. Hot shot, base hit. Here comes Border out third. Soriano's throws coming to the plate. It's cut off and we're tied.
One too many off-speed pitches, and it looked like another mistake. Dale looked like one. Maybe he just left up a little bit.
Yeah, one of the few that he's done this game. You know, he started to pitch to him, was breaking balls like he was thinking, well, I got a base open. But to me, Martine's the guy you got to go after there. Make sure you throw strikes, not too many off-speed stuff. Increase your chances of making a mistake because you know, you got a base open. I don't want to pitch to Jason this time.
No way. And
this month, last few weeks.
Martine jumped all over that hanger.
So new life for the Braves. Game tied 1-1 here in the 6th. Martin Prado's 32nd RBI, his 12th with 2 outs. It brings home Michael Bourne, who doubled with 2 outs in this inning.
Up until that at bat by Martine, the guys in the order number 2, 3, 4, and 5 were 0 for 8 with 7 strikeouts tonight.
And he's gone right back to the 2 tough pitches to Jason to start this at bat out. Right where he's been throwing that stuff all night.
There's Chipper Jones, our Delta Airlines on deck batter. One and 2 to Jason Hayward. And the inning is over. A new career high for Samardzija. He has struck out 10 men tonight. But with 2 outs, Michael Bourne doubles and Martin Prado singles to tie this game. New life for Tommy Hanson as we go to the 7th. By the Home Depot and by AT&T. Good ball game, great pitching, quite frankly. 17 strikeouts between Tommy Hanson and Jeff Samardzija as the Braves and Cubs meet in Game 1 in Atlanta tonight. Ryan LaHare's the hitter for Chicago, and Tommy's gotten him twice. Henson has struck out 7 and has retired 7 straight. We're in the 7th inning.
Remember, one of the losses to the Cubs was against Tim Hudson, and I think it might have been a 1-0 game. And LaHare drove in the run because we had a shift on for him, and he just happened to ground one through where the shortstop would normally be playing. It was about a 20 hopper. Braves not overplaying him quite as much.
That was the game where David Ross said Tim Hudson had no hit stuff up at Wrigley Field. Braves lost that game 1-0. It's 55 degrees. And
was that the foggy night? Was that the first game?
This is the last game.
Oh, the last
game. Okay. Game 1 was the Fog Bowl. Cubs won that one 5-1. That was the Samardzija game. And a line drive almost hit the second base bag. Almost took Tommy Henson with it. And LaHare lead off single in the 7th. And here's Clevenger, the catcher. Fans, the Braves welcome legendary Southern Rockers Leonard Skinner to Turner Field for a free post-game show Saturday, September 1st. It's presented by Coca-Cola and Delta. Field passes are on sale for $20, so visit Braves.com/concerts or call 800-745-3000.
Hey, that'll be Labor Day weekend, too.
And another shot up the middle. Henson couldn't spear that. And the Cubs will have runners first and third with nobody out.
I thought for a split second that Tommy caught that ball, and if he had, it would have been a double play. Because LaHare broke there, you could see, and he would have been doubled up easily.
Shutdown innings have been hard to come by for the Braves on the homestand. Let's see if Henson can wiggle out of trouble here in the 7th. First and third, nobody out, and Darwin Barney is up.
And Chris Medlin is up for the Braves in their pen.
Now a visit from Brian McCann with a 2-ball, 1-strike count.
Here's what you're talking about, Chip, with those shutdown innings and needing more of them. The Braves' last 6 losses, they've scored in 13 different innings, but the opponent has come right back the next half inning and scored 7 times. And you might be at home say, well, what's the big deal about that? And a lot of it has to do with momentum, the energy in the bench, that you've just come back and tied the game, and you want to keep old Mo in your dugout and not let the other team back in it.
Barney looks low and outside. 3 balls and a strike.
You know, momentum in baseball sometimes is a hard thing to notice, Joe. I think you said it earlier. Sometimes, you know, even defensive plays can help you offensively, just the feel you get. And it's just not as noticeable sometimes, but you're exactly right. Sometimes you get a couple runs, then you give some up, and you just can feel something. You're giving in a little bit.
Bases are loaded. Tommy Henson's issued his first walk. Roger McDowell out for a visit.
And I think that walk was a case where he's already struck out 7 tonight. A strikeout there would be huge to set up maybe getting out of the inning with a double play. But he was careful not to make a mistake to Barney, and it led to a walk. He was just trying to, he needed an out, wanted an out, and couldn't make a good enough pitch.
So So now Luis Valbuena has a chance to really put a hurting on the Braves. Bases loaded, nobody out. He's already doubled tonight. He's also flied out. Got the pitcher next.
This is a huge at bat right here in this ball game.
Chipper even with the bag at third. And Hansen working out of the stretch. Line drive, base hit. Laher scores. Clevenger around third will score. Barney's going to get green lighted. He's going to come around from third and score. The ball gets away from Freeman and trickles towards the Braves on deck circle. And Valbuena ends up at third base. On the first pitch, he doubles home 3 and takes third on an error, and it's a 4-1 Cubs game.
Breaking ball that was up. He hit it right on the button, and then Jason Hayward fell down. He cut it off. But when he went to the ground, that allowed Barney to come all the way around. And then an E3 that allowed Valbuena to get to third.
So the Braves, after tying the game at 1, fall behind 4-1 now, and still nobody out for Samardzija. Ball, 1 strike. Braves drop 2 out of 3 to the Cubs in Chicago. Here's a surprising stat. They are 13-15 against the Cubs since the start of the 2008 season. So throw out the worst record in baseball stat. Cubs are playing good ball right now. 1-5 of 6, and Samardzija's having a career night on the mound. It's a cue shot toward first, and no advance by Valbuena from third base. 1 out. Christian Martinez joins Chris Medlin in the Braves pen now as the top of the Cubs order is up.
That's 13 RBIs for Valbuena in 56 at bats. Pretty good production from a guy who wasn't with their ball club at the beginning.
They got him off waivers from Toronto. He's at third base for Campana, who's 0 for 3 tonight. Again fouled away for strike 1.
Yeah, Campana's 0 for 3 with 2 bad-looking Ks. I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe something here, a little safety squeeze, maybe a squeeze. He's had some funny at-bats tonight. Kind of hard to think that way sometimes, though, with the infield in. He's thinking I hit the ball, driving a run.
But he has
with his speed.
He's got 7 bunt singles. That's in the top 2 or 3 in the league. Don't often squeeze with a left-handed batter, but it might be a safety type squeeze where he could drag one to the right side.
Well, this guy's overcome an awful lot to make it to the big leagues. First of all, 5'8", 165 pounds. That probably scared off a lot of scouts. Cubs, though, took him in the 13th round back in 2008. That's a very minor part of the Tony Campana story. Last year, he won the Tony Conigliaro Award, which is presented to a major league player who's overcome adversity through the attributes of spirit, determination, and courage. Campana was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, and it was a cancer of the lymph tissue found in the lymph nodes, spleen, liver, and bone marrow, and that was discovered when he was a kid. After 10 years of treatment, they declared him cured of that disease. Ground ball to first. Freeman will win the race to the bag. Campana hustles, dives, but is out. Number 2.
Well, those are the kind of guys you root for.
Yep.
except when they're playing the Braves.
Good point.
And Tony tonight 0 for 4, and Starlin Castro the batter. He's 0 for 3. One ball, no strikes. Pop fly foul. Castro named to his second All-Star team for the Cubs. Made the All-Star team last year and was the youngest Cub in the history of the Cubs franchise to be an All-Star.
There's no questioning his ability. He does have a few mental lapses.
Check swing. That's fouled to the right side. 2-2. Here's where Castro ranks among shortstops.
And again, the most hits of anybody since he got called up to the big leagues in 2010.
And those are Starlin's ranks among National League shortstops. Pretty impressive resume.
Yes, it is.
And did that hit him? Or was it foul? Nope, foul ball. Jim Joyce with the call behind the plate immediately. 2-2.
Pitch number 101. Oh, right off the knob. Yeah.
Well, I think his challenge, as you mentioned, Chip, some mental lapses. I think that typically happens to guys where the game comes so easy to them that they're not always thinking like the guy with a little bit less talent always has to be ready and make the play. If he can get over that hurdle of having those mental lapses, that I think has bothered Dale Swaim a little bit this year, as we've talked about. He's going to be something to watch.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Valbuena double has plated 3 Cubs runs. And Castro not going away easily in this 7th inning.
His team trying the patience of a very patient guy in his first year as a big league manager for a full season. And already 20 games under 500, and with a lot of young players brought up to try to get them ready for the future for the Cubs.
That's a major difference. That's not the way they've done things in Chicago on the north side for a long time.
Kind of needed to happen though, didn't it? I mean, for me, yeah, fresh start.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, he's a good guy. I'm pulling for him. I played with him in Philly, so enjoyed getting to meet him, getting to know him a little bit there as a teammate. Good baseball man. Been around a long time.
And Castro is down on strikes. Tommy Hanson made him chase a high fastball. He got his 8th strikeout, but Valbuena doubled home 3. A bases loaded extra base hit gives the Cubs a 4-1 lead at the 7th inning stretch in Atlanta.
Well-pitched game today. Tommy Hanson through 7 innings has 8 strikeouts, but he's given up 4 runs. On the other side for the Cubs, Jeff Samardzij's been fantastic. He struck out a career-high 10. The first run for the Cubs came on a home run from the rookie Rizzo. They added 3 more moments ago in the 7th. Guys, Chipper Jones leads off, and Joe, you mentioned earlier that fans will have a chance to see Chipper for the first or maybe last time as they come to town from out of town. And here's one lovely couple who's done just that. The recently married Matt and Austin Johnson from Apex, North Carolina. Matt is a first-class airman based in Okinawa, Japan. He's used his leave to tie the knot with Austin. It's been a long journey for them, however, to get here to Atlanta. After a week at the beach, they had their car towed. They lost their cell phone. They got lost in downtown Atlanta, and they drove through a hailstorm in South Carolina. But they say that rain on your wedding day is good luck, and if a bad honeymoon portends the same, they will have a very happy life together.
And just like that, Chipper Jones starts the inning with a clean hit, and he's going to try for 2. And he's going to make it with a slide. That'll make the folks in Apex, North Carolina happy. Good start for the Braves.
You come all the way from Okinawa, you want to do some chopping. Breaking ball, hook to right. Now remember, that's LaHare in right field, who's a first baseman. Chipper knows that. Takes full advantage.
There you go.
They weren't sure about going for 2, but it worked out great.
And Freddie Freeman, the hitter, rolls one foul past first. Freddie struck out twice. With that double, Chipper now 17 doubles away from 550. He's 39 hits now away from 2,700.
Well, good to see him jump on a mistake by Samardzij. Very few tonight.
Right, Dale. Samardzij's given up just 4 hits tonight, but 3 of them have come in the last inning plus. So he might be tiring. One ball and 2 strikes.
Freddie fell behind yesterday to Gonzalez, 0-2, got the count even, and then hammered a 93-mile-an-hour fastball out of here.
That one across the shoe tops, and Freddie couldn't lay off. That's 11 strikeouts for Samardzij. 1 on, 1 out. All season long, Braves baseball on Sports South is being presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, the low price, every day.
Gonna have to get a base hit now to get Chipper in. Dan's hit the ball hard twice tonight. And they got that shift on for him again.
That strikeout of Freddie Freeman now a new season high for any Cubs starter this season. It's a career high for Samardzij, 11. Garza and Dempster each had a 10 strikeout game. And ironically, all of those big strikeout games have come against the National League East. Ryan Dempster struck out 10 Nationals. Matt Garza struck out 10 Phillies. Samardzij has struck out 11 Braves tonight.
Clevenger went out and looked over to see who was on deck, checking out Brian McCann. They're behind 2-0.
Fly ball center, but Quintana is there. And that's the second out.
And it might have been about how, let's not give in here. We've got a 3-run lead. It's 2-0, so let's not just groove a fastball to Dan Uggla. And they didn't. They threw him a breaking ball.
Brian McCann's 0 for 2 tonight. He's pulled the ball twice. He's grounded out to second and to first. He's not throwing a shutout, but he's had shutout stuff.
One of the things he does in his motion that is really good, and I can't figure out why a guy with his stuff would lose 4 in a row, but he does a good job of turning his shoulder, turning his hip, and he hides the ball real well for a guy that throws as hard as he does.
Right side, Rizzo will feed his pitcher, and Samardzija allows a leadoff double to Chipper and pitches right around that. We go to the 8th inning. Cubs 4, Braves 1. Blimpie. By Academy Sports and Outdoors. By Georgia Power. And by Nissan. 4-1's our score. We are through 7 innings in Atlanta tonight. Our first look at the Chicago Cubs this season at Turner Field. And we hope you'll take a peek at the Braves week ahead on FoxSportsSouth.com. Our Braves writer Andy Johnston is breaking down everything you need to know for this jam-packed week of games. For this article and more on the Braves, go to FoxSportsSouth.com.
What happened to Andrew Jones? Did he have to go on a road trip?
I think so. So Andy Johnston gets the honors this week.
Well, good.
The man getting the honors for the 8th inning is the man answering the AT&T call to the bullpen. It's Christian Martinez.
Worked 2/3 of an inning yesterday with a strikeout. And again, as I said yesterday, check out the strikeouts to walk ratio, 38-7.
Excellent start for Martinez. No balls, 2 strikes. The Phillies, Mets, and Nationals are all idle tonight in the National League East. The Braves and Marlins are the only 2 Eastern clubs in action this evening. Chipper gives chase down the left field line. Long run, no play. It's in the seats and foul for Rizzo. Marlins are winning tonight 5-2 in Milwaukee. Pittsburgh's winning again. Pittsburgh's having a terrific first half under Clint Hurdle. Getting excellent pitching. Those Pirates start play tonight, a game behind the Reds. The Cubs division, that's the National League Central. Braves started play tonight, 4.5 games behind Washington. Washington starts a series with the Giants at home tomorrow. That is if the power is on in Washington.
We had a power outage in Lynchburg. Braves high A affiliate yesterday caused a postponement for a doubleheader today.
Roller right side. Freeman off the end of his glove. And that allows Rizzo to reach. Dan Uglow was there, but Freeman cut the ball off. Couldn't grab it cleanly. And Rizzo's aboard to start the inning.
It's a tough play there where you're a first baseman with a lot of range. You want to go get that. Tough play would have been an easier play for Dan.
He was beginning to put the brakes on, though. He was beginning to really get his feet set to make the throw back and didn't have the ball yet. A rare 2-error game for Freddie Freeman.
Can't remember if he's ever had one of those.
I can't imagine that he has.
Statistician to the Stars, Gretchen Caney, will check on that for us as Soriano bats with a man aboard and nobody out. So it is the first multi-error game on in Freddie Freeman's young big league career.
So if she's the statistician to the Stars, does that make you the star?
No.
That's what it sounded like.
No, I said statistician to the Stars. You guys are the players. Dale Murphy and Joe Simpson.
I didn't ask that question.
I'm just the guy that reads the cards. Strike 3 to Soriano. 1 out.
But there was no card there for that one.
Well, I write down my ad-libs before the game, Dale. Very small writing with these small hands. Got to catch up. 1 out. Runner aboard in the Cubs 8. Martinez has his first strikeout. Here's LaHare. This guy's an incredible story. A 39th round draft pick. 39th round in 2002. Got one bit of playing time in the big leagues with Seattle a couple of years ago. Nothing else after that until he got a chance to play with the Cubs and broke in with a huge bang for them this year. This is a man who last season at Iowa hit 38 homers and drove in 109 men. Finally got to the big leagues for 20 games late last season.
I would say it's safe to say he made the All-Star team based on his early work. Great April. Since then, it's calmed down a little bit.
Yeah. And it was the players that voted him on to the All-Star team, right? His peers?
Yes.
Now here we are in the 2012 season. He started his pro career in 2003. Before last season, had 45 games in the big leagues in 8 years. Pretty persistent.
Got to admire that.
And you have to wonder if some of the guys who did the voting recognized that persistence.
I don't know. I don't know if guys really dig that deep, you know.
Right.
check out guys' bios and stuff like that. More of an appreciation for what they're doing right now.
When we saw the Cubs in early May, Laher had a streak where he was on base in 24 consecutive games. At the time we saw him, he was hitting .390 with 7 home runs. And he at that point had the most homers in baseball among all first basemen. So you're right, Joe. Great early work for Laher. Tallied 3 hits, hit a homer, and drove in 2 runs in that 3-game set. He singled and scored again here tonight. Runner at first goes, and a shot. Oh, what a play by Freeman at the first base bag to take away extra bases. Sensational stop at first.
Okay, you're redeemed. This saved a surefire double and maybe a run with Rizzo moving. Wow, what a play.
Yeah, that's what we're used to seeing out of Freddie right there.
Safe to say that ball had some Laher on it.
I would agree.
Did you say safe?
Well, maybe stretch that just a bit. Here's Clevenger, the catcher.
Oh, no, I think it did.
He's 2 for 3 tonight.
Is it against the rules to request that when an umpiring crew comes to town that you just have one guy call balls and strikes for 4 days and move on?
I know where you're headed. I would pay to watch this man work behind the plate.
He's really good.
He lets you know quickly. He points quickly so the fans in the crowd know the call, and he's got a very distinctive strike call.
We haven't talked about any balls he's missed tonight.
I don't think he has. And Freeman didn't miss that one either. A nice feed to Christian Martinez. And we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. 4-1 Chicago the lead. In game one of the series, and the big reason why was the man on the mound for the Cubs. Jeff Samardzija was brilliant.
A lot of similarities to this start, from the start to the one he had in Chicago, except that he struck out more guys. But 7 innings of 4 hit ball, gave up 1 run. In Chicago, 7 innings of 5 hit ball, he gave up 1 run. And you're looking at all of his 11 strikeouts, a career high in just 7 innings.
So a couple of changes for the Cubs. It'll be Samardzija out of the game with his 11 strikeouts. Sean Kemp takes over. And Reed Johnson, now the Cubs right fielder.
Well, I can only remember maybe 2 mistakes tonight from Samardzija, but there's quite a few guys in the Braves lineup are saying, thankfully he's gone. I'll give anybody else a try.
Yeah, their bullpen hasn't been very good, and Carlos Marmol, their closer, was sent back to AAA right after the Braves left town when they played Chicago at Wrigley. But he's back and he's pitched well since he came back. But they've had a leaky bullpen.
It's a different bullpen too. One big name no longer with the Cubs. Remember Kerry Wood? He retired shortly after Atlanta left town. So that's another area where the Cubs have gone awfully young. Simmons rounds one up the middle. Great play, Barney. Throw to first. Got his man. 1 out.
We've talked a lot about Andrelton Simmons getting to his feet really quick. That's about as quick as you can do it from Barney.
Great stretch by Rizzo. They had him played perfectly too. They were playing him up the middle. Otherwise he never gets to this baseball. And then a 1-hopper. I hate that head first slide at first. Too many things can go wrong on that one. Martin Prado could address that with Andrelton Simmons.
So big first out. Eric Hinsky pinch hits. The Cubs shift. And a strike to a man who was drafted by the Cubs. Hinsky was then traded to Toronto, where he won the Rookie of the Year. Barney gets another one. 2 great plays.
Lest we forget, it was Darwin Barney who ended Dan Uggla's hitting streak last year too, out in shallow right field. Here in turn, was it here? I think it was here.
Yeah, it was here.
One to his right, and this beauty to his left. 65 straight E-less games. This would be number 66.
Must have been distracted by the sculpture when he made that error in Miami. And now a ground ball deep short. Castro can't get it out of his glove. Bourne reaches with 2 outs. And speaking of Prado, he will bat with a runner aboard. The Braves down 4-1. Back to our trivia question tonight. Trivia, as always, brought to you by our friends at AT&T Uverse, who are the only 2 pitchers to record their 3,000th career strikeout while pitching for the Cubs.
I'm going to go Maddox and Fergie.
You know, I'd have to, I agree with that. I'd go Ferguson. Jenkins probably got me 30 times.
I'll go myself. Well, then I'll definitely go Fergie, and I'll go Grover Cleveland Alexander.
Hotter than a dancing bobcat.
I'm digging it. Multi-hit game for Bourne. See if Prado can get Hayward up there with a couple of runners on. And can't Misses low. 1 ball, no strikes.
And I should have said Greg Maddux probably got me 30 times as well. My favorite story is here. I was in spring training when he came to the Braves. I said, man, I hated to face you. I was 2 for 24 off of you. And he looked at me and he said, 2 for 26. Yeah, nice talking to you, Greg.
I was just thinking about Fergie Jenkins. I got him. He's a notch on my.
You got him in your book?
He's in the book?
He's in my book.
Kind of a short story, or is it?
Well, I lost track after counting to 9.
You got him, though, huh?
Got him.
Wrigley?
No, actually in Arlington, Texas.
Okay.
He was with the Rangers.
Wind blowing straight in.
It was about 900 degrees.
Yep.
Hands were sweaty. 3-1 count.
One and 2 to Martin. Bourne's running. The pitch nowhere near, and Bourne steals second without a throw.
Hey, the Braves got their run in the 6th inning thanks to a 2-out double by Bourne and then the clutch hitting of Martin. And this is where innings like the 7th kind of come back and gnaw at you because Chipper led off with the double. Freddie didn't get him over. The next batter, Ugla, hits a deep fly ball that would have gotten him in. And you just kind of gnash your teeth over some runs that maybe you should have had.
Fly ball right center field. Lee Johnson is over and is there to retire the side. Bourne left stranded in the Atlanta 8th, and to the 9th we go. Chicago 4, Atlanta 1.
To have been named a starter for the National League in the upcoming All-Star game.
Great honor, huge honor. First time, in my career that I get to start an All-Star game. So it's looking forward to it, and extremely excited, and just looking to represent the NL.
Danny's got some redemption coming his way. He was 0 for with 3 errors last time he was in the All-Star game, an extra inning loss for the National League in New York City. Well, it's 8 days away, and don't miss the biggest event of the summer as baseball's greatest stars battle for home field advantage in the Fall Classic. The road to the World Series begins with the 2012 MLB All-Star Game Tuesday, July 10th at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on Fox.
All right, Tom, thank you very much. Looking forward to the All-Star Game. Can't wait to see Dan Ugla and Craig Kimbrell play for the National League. And hopefully both Chipper Jones and Michael Bourne will somehow find their way to Kansas City for the All-Star festivities next week. So we go to the 9th inning, 4-1 Chicago. Chad Durbin answers the AT&T call to the bullpen. Here's his 40th appearance of the season.
Did not work yesterday, but worked on Saturday, 3rd of an inning. couple of walks in a key situation, but was able to get out of it by getting Jesus Flores to ground out. And the Braves win over the Nationals.
Barney breaks his bat. And Chipper throws it out. 1 down. The Mets are coming to town on Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th of July to play the Braves. Cheer on Michael Bourne and the rest of the Atlanta Ball Club as they face off with David Wright. Call 800-745-3000 or visit Braves.com/tickets for tickets to the Braves and Mets series starting Friday, July 13th. Valbuena grounds to short. And Simmons gets him by a step. Valbuena had the game's big hit. Bases clearing double in the 7th. That broke open a 1-1 game. So he's 2 for 4, 2 outs. Reed Johnson, the hitter.
Well, that's great for Dan Uggla, you know, being able to start the All-Star game. It's always kind of bothered me when guys are a little indifferent about being on the All-Star game. I should say it's kind of bothered me. It's really bothered me. I look back on my career, those some of the best memories, funnest times, getting to be on a field with guys from around the league. It's just, what a thrill.
And a real honor.
Oh, yeah.
Ground ball to first. And Chad Durbin has a very easy inning. 3 outs on 4 pitches. And it's a 4-1 game. Atlanta has 3 outs left. And here's who's coming up: Hayward, Chipper, and Freddie Freeman.
For the Cubs in the 4th inning. First pitch of the inning. Fastball away from Anthony Rizzo, and he hits his 2nd big league homer. 1-0. Braves had tied it up, but in the 7th, with the bases loaded, nobody out, Luis Valbuena jumped on the first pitch and hooked it to right field. During the play, Jason Hayward fell down, and a ball got away from Freddie Freeman that allowed him to go to 3rd, but he cleared the sacks. A 3-run double.
So it's James Russell who is on for this 9th inning with Hayward, switch hitting Chipper Jones, and Freddie Freeman. 2 of those 3 are left-handed batters, and it's not surprising that the Cubs are playing matchup here in this 9th inning. Russell has 1 save this season. That came on May 29th against the San Diego Padres.
I just wonder if he's in there because Marmol has pitched 3 straight days and picked up saves in 3 straight days.
And a quick strike to Hayward. Jason tonight has struck out 3 times. Russell, as you would expect, tough on left-handed hitters. They're batting just .216 against him.
Dale, when you were hitting at time, did you ever notice middle infielders moving after a pitcher started into his windup, like they saw the sign? And so, as was the case there, breaking ball. As soon as Castro moved to his right, I thought, okay, it's got to be something off speed.
Line drive left field. That'll drop in front of Soriano. Jason Hayward, a leadoff hit.
Well, that's what Jason's been doing this last month. Taking tough pitches away and going with it. He stands so far away from the plate, it looks like a pitch you can get away with it, but his arms,
he invites you to pitch him out there.
Well, yeah, Joe, you know, that's why they always tell the infielders. You asked me earlier about middle infielders moving after they get the sign. Yeah, if they move early, yeah, it certainly will tip you off.
Chipper sprays one foul.
This was right before the base hit. Watch Castro at shortstop. After he saw the sign, that was plenty of time for Jason to see it and expect something away, breaking ball. If he's going to move, you know that it's probably going to be a breaking ball or something away.
Yeah, I agree. If someone noticed that catcher or someone in the dugout, they're going to have to say, hey, tell Castro it's way too early. You know, move a little bit less and maybe a little bit later. You're trying to move that much and that early. But you're right, Joe. Good pickup on there. That'll tip it to you.
2 strikes to Chipper, who's faced Russell once and has doubled against him. Good eye by Chipper. Close pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Two good breaking balls. Tough ones to lay off.
Castro at short. Barney the turn. And the scoop at first by Rizzo. 2 outs.
Pretty much tailor-made. They had a little time with Chipper running. Castro did to get his feet set, and then another nice pick by Rizzo over there at first.
Yeah, Barney did a good job of getting behind the bag, so Jason couldn't get a leg on him.
A 3 strikeout game for Freddie tonight. 2 outs. A 4-1 Cubs lead, bottom of the 9th inning. Now the Braves down to their last strike. High fly ball center. Campana is there. And the Cubs have won game 1 of the series by a final score of 4-1. Jeff Samardzija snaps his 4-game losing streak, and he beats Tommy Hanson. James Russell earns his 2nd save of the year, and the Cubs have their longest winning streak of the season. It's now at 4 games. Back to Turner Field with more right after this.